Everybody thought Steve Jobs was crazy. A personal computer? What the hell are you talking about? Kanye ahead of his time. Frankly, I think the gi is going to make a comeback. Tank top stocks will plummet. Every Planet Fitness is going to be full of some more old school attire. Right? I'm talking going back in time to move forward. Not exactly. Maybe not exactly. No, this is, you know what day it is. It's freaking Halloween. And I would imagine that, maybe not even half, probably more. What, I don't know what percentage would be a good guess. Well, for at least the younger side of things, but even the older guys too. I mean, you're going to go to, everybody's hosting Halloween parties. Are you skipping your lift to be a part of it? Are you skipping your workout such that you can, just go fucking party at night? Get a, let's just say, a terrible night's sleep, and then have a couple day recovery period before you get back on your grind. Now, that's not rhetorical. Everyone's life doesn't have to revolve around training. But I think if you just basically cancel your fucking gym, cancel your lift purely because it wasn't convenient at the time because you had to do something else later, I'm not going to say it. I would never question this. Right? I would never question your desire to get some gains and stay locked in. But the question may arise, how bad does he want it? Now, in no way am I saying completely forego a social life and spend 24 hours a day at the gym or just at home chowing down on your meals and doing your cardio. But there is a certain point where you may need to begin to draw a line in the sand which you might not want to cross, because at the extreme side of things, there's guys where in their mind they actually want to lock in. They would love it. They're looking at guys who are locked in, and I'm not talking like influencer body, I mean just guys who they know who lift on the regular, and they're like, man, that'd be kind of cool. But their actions just don't reflect it, and it's I hate to see it, because I think more of us than maybe we'd like to admit, and maybe not us, I mean just people in general, are gonna watch Rocky with their dad or whatever else kind of anything really like physically motivating, and think, oh shit, that might be kind of fucking cool, man. Regardless of where you were born, what your parents do, everybody's got a body, so that's the side of my kind of lifting, hyping up talk that I can really get behind, because it's like, dude, everybody and their mom and their grandma is going to benefit from some weight-based training and some cardio. And over the long run, I mean, everybody that really gets into fitness, barring drastic schedule changes, which can kind of throw off your course. I mean, if you look back and for the last 6 months you've been killing it with your workout routine versus somebody who for the last 6 months is, well, let's just put it simply as not, who's going to get to, kind of have a better feeling, right? Because the guy who, it's, this is a classic, the kid who did his homework versus the kid who didn't. That guy doesn't have to worry about it. He's got his name written down on the top. Here you go, Miss Miller. I finished my multiplication tables. And then the other guy's sitting there bouncing his fucking foot. Okay. But I forgot it. Way more peace of mind. Way more peace of mind for the guy who actually did what he was supposed to. Or in this case, what you want to have done. And I mean, we all get it. I don't need to say this too hard, but if you're ever at a point where you realize, like, oh shit, I'm not as in shape as I used to be. Fuck, man, I've been drinking a lot more than I used to. I haven't really been. I can't remember the last time I really worked out. Dude, I hate to see it. I hate to know that it's happening, and it's kind of like a slope. It's kind of like it's like the sand trap from Star Wars episode. Is that episode 3? Or no, technically episode 5. Is it episode 5 or 6 where there's the sand pit kind of trapped, right? That slope of sand leading down to the fucking sandworm. That's everybody saying, dude, come on, bro. What's one night off gonna do for you, man? Come on. Dude, is your bench really worth not going out with us? Well, I don't want to stomp it into the ground too hard, but you get what I'm saying. You can balance locked inness with regular socialness, but one I think should take a little bit more precedent, just because I know you'll enjoy it later. Missing out on one or two kind of whatever 3-hour things at 10 o'clock to 1 in the morning, totally thrown off your routine. Like, it's a laugh now, cry later sort of thing, I feel. But no more of that kind of talk. What's the plan for tonight's lift? I'm talking simple ass chest. No shoulders, no nothing. I mean, especially I did shoulders yesterday. But heavy pressing first. I'm thinking I've got a little bit of an itch for incline Smith, and then we'll go from there. But there's also a flat chest press I really like too. So I want to balance out doing both incline Smith as well as flat chest press and still have a good lift. Because sometimes what'll happen is I'll be like fully pumped from chest after like 4 sets. 3 sets of heavy press and then 1 set of the fly. And it's like I'm almost finishing too early. It's like I want to get some more sets in first before this thing's totally done. So I'll see. And half of that is just I think I'll see what happens once I get in there. Let's say I do 1 plate on the incline Smith machine, and then I say to myself like, oh shit, I don't like the feeling of this at all. Then I'll just move on. No biggie. Switch to a chest press or incline barbell or anything else that fits that same category as a heavy press. So as long as every chest machine isn't completely taken by 3 guys each, I can't even imagine a situation where I don't finish this lift with a reasonably insane chest pump. So now I've kind of hyped it up. How about we just stop talking about it and actually make it happen? 30 reps.
Come on, son. There you go. Lightweight. Come on, son. Come on.
Oh my god. Whew. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Probably 1 more.
Got you. Come on, son. There you go. Come on. Come on, fam. Come on. Push it.
Here, just grab and help.
Yep.
Perfect. Whew. That's good. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. That's not all. Let's make that drop that. Okay. Let's leave it at 1 of those. I'm gonna have better luck with cables. So the cables were occupado, but I think that might have been a good thing for me, because this chest press is one that I don't really make use of as much as I probably should, at least now that I know what it feels like. So this is very much upper chest focused. With like a flat press or even incline bench, I still feel my whole pecs firing. But with this one specifically, especially when I suck my shoulders back, I may as well only feel upper chest fatigue. To the point where, honestly, there's actually a little bit of fucking utility wearing the gi with the big open front. I can see my chest like contract right here. Kind of a good little mental cue. But let's drop this back one down. Yeah. Oh my god. Okay. That was good. But I know what machine I want to finish with. So, well, you know what? That's not true. Let's do one more set of this chest press, then go to a flat press, which I think will really finish off chest. I like this one though. It's kind of a fatigue that sneaks up on you. Because like those first 5 reps were whatever, but those last 3 should get fucking heavy. But good set. One more, same style. Potential for a drop set, but how about we just find out in a minute? Yeah. 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 Oh my god, okay. Let's go finish with a flat chest press superset. Drop set, I mean. This will be a good drop set. 3 plates failure, or at least close to it. 2 plate burnout. And something about the squeeze and the contraction on this movement, like, I mean, this machine specifically, it makes me want to finish with it. Because I know after this set of just 1 drop set, I might be twice as pumped as I am right now. Which, pump value for set, is pretty insane. I just if I can find a good song to go along with it. Oh, yeah, okay. Okay. Let's find some lighting. Chest complete. Okay. Halloween gi outfit chest day is now complete. Let's not lose the belt, but let's reveal the pump that's underneath. If I can get this fucking thing off. Oh. I knew that this would not work for a back day, if I, I mean, if I was like fully pumped in the back, I don't think I'd be able to get this fucking thing off. So good time in the chest. But let's see. Oh my, I need a fucking haircut, dude. My hair is like getting in the way of my traps. Yeah. No. Oh shit. So actually, I think I might be using mirror magic. This I'm kind of cheating right now. This mirror is a little bit warped. When I stand right here, it actually makes me look a little wider. Not gonna move though. It's cool enough for me. But let's see. How's the last spread looking? Oh, well, you tell me. Was that a satisfactory chest pump? Or was it a fucking awesome chest pump? Oh my god, not even a real question. But play now, go home, eat, get some food in my system, and then go to sleep. Perfect end to a good ass lift. Gosh. So that makes today day 24, I believe. Day 24 of this dieting phase. This morning I was about 250. I think, well, I don't know. I'm not totally sure. I put pants and a shirt on, so that does inflate your weight a little bit. But what I really need to do is order a fancier scale. If you have any suggestions, I would actually appreciate it, because a lot of the, like a $40 like superstore scale on sale. I'm not convinced it's like the most accurate thing in the world. And that's actually gonna fucking come into play later, because I gotta be a certain weight for how tall I am. I forget my exact height, or my exact height class weight, but I gotta get light. I have got to get light. But well, it'll come in due time. It will come in due time. But that is something I do need a more accurate scale. I'm talking down to the ounce. I'm talking down to the gram. Something along those lines. But that was a good chest day, and that was a good bench. I like that. That was an incline bench that was a little bit less inclined than what I normally do, and I think I might benefit from some of that, because it's giving me less front delt activation. Like, my front delts did not feel like they were doing much during those sets of incline barbell bench. I felt them a little on that pec deck, which I really don't think is all Sam. That's not a full-on Sam thing. Part of that is a fucking design thing, and I'm not joking. That pec deck, the points where the handles actually rotate are just above my shoulders, actually a little bit in front. And what it ends up doing is it kind of pulls my arms forward as I'm doing the rep. I haven't really felt it like that abruptly before, because I haven't done that pec deck for a little while. But it's really good pec decks, and from what I can remember, some of the old school ones that I really like, they've got that point of rotation behind your shoulders a little bit. So as you do the rep, I mean, it still feels like a regular pec deck, but you almost get a little bit of a pushing back sensation where it keeps your shoulders in line. So for me, that's actually pretty fucking important, because it makes it much easier for me to keep my shoulders back, keep my chest doing 100% of the work, and not get a front delt pump. I don't need any more front delt stimulation. Definitely not in a bulking phase, because I don't need my front delts to grow anymore. I need my chest and my arms to grow around. I need my chest and my arms to grow around them and kind of fill in the space. So that's one thing I can do with is a better pec deck on the regular. But that less inclined bench, I'm inclined to believe that I like it. So I might do actually some of my pressing at a little bit of a flatter angle. And I'm not like a die-hard flat bench hater, even though I don't do much flat bench, but I do think there is a benefit to specific incline upper chest based work, but maybe not to the degree that I've been doing as of late. So, in the process of trying to focus on my upper chest, I may actually be putting a bit too much emphasis on my front delts. So I think maybe some less steep incline pressing might do me good. And I wonder if half of that is to do with the fact that my back is ahead of the game compared to my chest. So it's almost like there's not as much room for my shoulders to go back on my fucking frame, purely because my shoulders are just running into my traps and shit. So it's kind of a sort of just a situation there where it's like, what am I gonna do? But either way, that is something that is taking the forefront of my focus for my chest days, at least in terms of my form and execution. But that was good. I almost did incline Smith, so ended up being a blessing in disguise that it was taken, because that barbell felt pretty good. Excuse my yawning, but I am getting a little bit sleepy. It's 9:20 right now, and that was after like 45 minutes of chat at the end of the workout, after the pose down and everything else. That workout really only took me like 30 minutes from first working set to last working set, not including the warm up. I did warm up for like 10 minutes sitting on the cable machine, doing push downs and rows and cable crossover presses and some rear delt activation and stuff, and even a little bit of like forearm kind of curls, because a lot of things come into play when you do chest, to the point where, I mean, I think chest is my longest warm up of any movement. Like I warm up my quads before I squat. I warm up my hamstrings before I do a heavy set of hamstring curls. But most other body parts for me are simple enough where my warm up can just be whatever that first movement is. If I'm warming up for curls, I don't need to do lateral raises. All I do is do light curls and gradually get heavier until I feel like I'm ready for a working set. Same thing with push downs. But with chest, and with anything a little more complicated like squats, things like that, it's just a lot of fucking moving pieces. So I make sure my shoulders, my rotator cuffs, my forearms, even my triceps, my biceps a little bit, my back, my chest, everything's firing well. And ever since I started doing a longer chest warm up, I haven't really had any shoulder issues. Apart from me going too heavy and then like pulling something because I was doing weight that I shouldn't have been doing, which I am getting smarter about not doing as time progresses. But in terms of just regular shoulder kind of based, tweaks, I can't remember the last time I had a shoulder tweak. Knock on wood, I'm not asking for fucking trouble either. And I do think that's mainly to be attributed to that longer shoulder warm up. But we'll see. What's going on here? Seems to be some construction, but that's good. I was just talking to some of the powerlifter guys in there that I'm really working on not hurting myself, because I want to be making gains for a long time, and to rip something like anything tendon based, it's really not conducive with long term gains. So I want to push the envelope hard enough where I'm doing pretty solid heavy sets, but I'm getting a little bit less ego to the point where I know I don't need to do 4 plates on the chest press. I don't need to do the full stack of a pec deck for it to be an effective set. What really or what I really think my value system on how good a set is now, which I'm still working on, I'm trying to get better at it, but it's really just how hard can I go? And how hard you can go does not equate to how heavy you can go. That's something which actually has taken me a long time to start to understand. But if all I had access to was like the cables today for chest, I could still have a solid ass fucking chest pump. All I would do is maybe some heavy, or like heavy-ish squeezing, single arm cable press, some flies, flat, maybe incline a little, decline, maybe some push-up kind of drop sets. I mean, frankly, if you left me in a room with two unsharpened pencils and a rubber band, I'm sure I could figure out some way to get a fucking chest pump. And I think if you really want to, then you can. So it's not a question of like, okay, how heavy can I do this particular machine to hit my chest at this angle? It's more so like, okay, what do I have at my disposal? How can I make sure I have as good of a fucking pump as possible? Push myself hard and make sure I'm in the quality zone of effort and intensity, combined with your prep and your output. Right? It's going to be hard to have a really good lift if you got zero sleep and you didn't drink any water. That's going to come into play too. But as long as all those things are in line, a lot of your progression is just going to fall into place. I'm not well, for my situation especially. I mean, lifting to the point with everything else that I'm doing, progressive overload isn't necessarily conducive with me getting bigger. I mean, nobody who's twice as big as me is benching twice as much as me. There is a certain limit to the progressive overload side of things, but you don't necessarily have to have a training log with you at all times and look at it and say, okay, I did 120 pounds on this machine for 12 reps last week. Today I'm going to do 125 or 130. Oh, I'm sorry. If somebody's rolling in the gym and they're going to pick a weight where, okay, I can barely get this for 12, let's go for it, and they actually push themselves as hard as they can, then the quality of that set was there. He is progressively overloaded. If you're constantly trying to push yourself, then progressive overload kind of just happens if you have the itch to keep yourself going. Now, if you're somebody who has a tendency of maybe going a little bit lighter than they should, or maybe potentially just underestimating your own strength, then that's where really tracking your sets and everything else will come into play, because it is a good proof of concept. It's like, okay, I did 185 for 10 last week. I feel a little off today, but I mean, my shoulders feel good, my chest feels good. There's no reason I can't do that again. And kind of use that as kind of a motivation. But to each their own, honestly. As long as you're getting bigger and stronger at a reasonable rate, you are good. You are fucking good. So, play now. As said a moment ago, go home, grub on something, probably potentially ground beef, maybe some eggs. I've been absolutely destroying some cans of Kirkland chicken, a little bit on the salty side of things, so that's as long as you drink enough water, you're totally fine. But those have been really good. I mean, 45 grams of protein, moist, coming right out of a can. That saves me getting the fucking pan dirty. But not as exciting with the meals now that I'm in a deficit, just because kind of limited. I only got so much food to eat every day. I don't want to waste my calories on something sweeter, like a burger or something like a Wendy's order, because that could be 1,200 calories right there, and that could disappear in 5 minutes. I've only got 3,000-ish for the whole day. I need to make it last. So when I'm dieting, I do get a little bit more sparse with my calorie intake, a little bit more spread out, and that's just kind of how I end up going with that. But I'll get into the dieting a little bit more in definitely in the next full day of eating. Which in the dieting phase, honestly, might be better to call that full day of not eating, because that's kind of that's a little bit more to the purpose. But that's all I got. So tomorrow will be a wide back day in regular gym attire. So I'll see you for a wide ass fucking lat spread. Even just looking at myself after today's chest day, I mean, I didn't do any back poses, but I could kind of see it creeped around. Back veins are coming back. Back veins are returning with a vengeance. Because don't forget, even though I only gained maybe however many pounds of muscle over this last bulking phase, probably, I was 12 pounds heavier than I was the last bulk. So I could see maybe 5-ish pounds, maybe 6, something along those lines. But don't forget, I'm as heavy as I've ever been. So as I get leaner, this is going to be as big and lean as I have ever been, which, I mean, even just saying it's getting me excited. So I think the Winter Shredathon is, that name is going to be lived up to. But nothing else to do now but to actually make it happen. So I'll see you tomorrow if we're back.